Hello, future millionaire. Today I'm going to tell you a story out of my life. What you're seeing here is a small patch of Gold Coast called Sovereign Islands. And those are man-made islands where a developer built basically the land, created the land, and sold the lots to people, particularly from overseas, to buy them and build houses and potentially make money on them. Location is pretty bad. It's very far away from the city center. As you can see in the background, that is the CBD area where Surfers Paradise is and everything. And that takes about 45 minutes to get there. So it's not the perfect location, but it was highly desirable due to the fact that this is the only place where you can have direct access to the ocean from your front door. And it was highly popular with people with money. Those who wants to have a yacht in front of their own house. There's no better location on the Gold Coast than on the Sovereign Islands. So how is this related to Bitcoin Cash? When I came to Gold Coast in 2012, I went to this island. I bought a house on the island for $1 million cash, and I did it in 2 days. And to the locals, it looked like I was crazy. I've never been here before, and I wouldn't know what I was doing, and people were laughing at me. Everyone told me I overpaid. And it turned out that not only I didn't overpay, I hold, still until today, the lowest price record for a house and land freshly built on Sovereign Island. Today, if you want to buy a brand new house with land, you pay anywhere between $2.5 million to $5 million. And locals back then were laughing at me because there's a random guy out of nowhere driving a $5,000 car just bid in auction randomly for a house he has only barely put his feet in. So in reality, what really happened is the market was down due to the financial crisis. And during the financial crisis, all the insiders, so people who have been living on this island for years, are scared. They're very scared because prices keep falling. Majority of those people at that point of time, 2012, have lost about 50% of their net worth in their own house on this island. Yes, 50%. Does this sound familiar to you? And nobody dared to buy. So in the auction, I was able to beat every single person in the neighborhood for a token sum price because everyone was expecting the price to go even lower. When I asked them around, they told me I should not pay more than $600,000 to $700,000 for it, even though the land value itself was $800,000 valued by the council. So completely illogical, but the fear prevented the locals from buying more, or maybe they didn't have enough equity to buy more. What those people didn't know is that I have been observing this particular spot of the market on the Gold Coast for 4 years before I entered. This is something I didn't want to tell them, and there's no reason for me to tell them. Now let's come back to Bitcoin Cash. Right now, Bitcoin Cash, the valuation of Bitcoin Cash is so low that, and I'm currently referring to each one individually, let's say Bitcoin Cash ABC, the valuation is so low that the entirety of Bitcoin Cash ABC can only buy this island, which is a tiny patch of Gold Coast, 3 times over. That's it. So for a potential global economy driving cryptocurrency, the current valuation is merely 3 times of a tiny island on the Gold Coast. And now for Bitcoin Cash SV, for the Satoshi Vision version, for the Satoshi Vision coin, the valuation is even more ridiculous. I can't even afford this whole island if I own every single coin out there. So in fact, if you are someone who owns every single coin of Satoshi Vision coins, and you want to buy, you can only buy about 70% of this island. What does that tell you? It tells you the following. Valuation is all relative. You might not value your coins. You might think just because the price has come down, therefore it has to go down even further. That is not always the case. Instead, what you should do is do your homework, find out what's the true value of the investment you want to put your money in, and then at the opportune time, like right now in Bitcoin Cash, in both cases, ABC and SV, if you understand what you're investing in, then you should go in and scoop up as much as you can. Personally, I have not made a decision yet how I should scoop up this whole thing. I think I do have some time. So I'm happy to go to London first, talk to the people in the SV camp, and may potentially go to Hong Kong and talk to the people in the ABC camp and see what I learn, and then make my decision. And meanwhile, I want to remind myself and everybody else out there that what we have here is a great opportunity. Nothing to be afraid of. You should only be afraid of it if you don't know what you're doing. If you know what you're buying and what is the value you're getting, and if the price is way below the value that you assign to the asset, then I suggest you should scoop up as much as you can. And it doesn't matter what the other people tell you. And just to close up with the story, I lived on the island for 3 years. Didn't like it. Number one, I get seasick on any boats. I didn't know that until I went there. Number two, more interesting enough, is prices went up so much I decided to sell out. So I sold for 50% more money to my next door neighbor, who was in the auction. Originally didn't even want to pay $1 million for the house. There it goes. Insiders are not always right.